Thank you very much. Nice to see you.
Cheers.
All right, and finally we have Stephen Wood, please. Welcome, Stephen. You've got your 5 minutes and start when you're ready.
Good morning. I'm speaking here today for Spokes Canterbury. The usual submissions coordinator that would be here is unavailable, and Scott. I've been involved with Spokes Canterbury I was involved when I was a student, but I've been away out of the city for something like 30 years. I'm also involved with the national body that Spokes Canterbury is involved with, Cycling Action Network. So just while we've made comments on specific areas on the interactive maps, what I'll do today is just talk about some general comments. I think it's been a good consultation process because the feedback is very broad. It's spatial in that it relates to individual places and people's neighbourhoods. Acknowledge that the council's added neighbourhoods into the Safer Speeds Network as a result of that consultation. And so, as I said, we're going to be, I will talk more about an overview. When I started thinking about what I was going to say, I thought first of pictures. And there's put 2 pictures in here. One's a cartoon from another country, but it gives an indication of what streets can seem like for people who are not in cars. And it's, I think it's from the States, but it's hard to tell because you can't see what side of the road people are driving on. But it's just a very graphic illustration of the fact that a lot of the space on streets is not available to people if you're not in a car. The other photo is from in the neighbourhood where I live. I'm a resident in Preston's Park in Burwood, and on some of the streets there, the developer and their contractors have actually have sponsored signs to ask people to drive slowly because they value their children. This is a diagram that I've included from some of Waka Kotahi's documentation. It's a bit complicated and complex and hard to read, but it's talking about classifying streets. And there's a grid in the centre which has got 2 axes, and up the side is an axis labelled movement, so it's how important it is for transport on that street. And the one along the bottom is labelled place, so it's how important a sense of place or thing. So you've got different sorts of roads on that. The arterial roads are shown as right at the top left. So it's important to move people and not much of a sense of place. And there's various other streets around and around the edge, like main roads, urban hubs, and so on. The neighbourhood streets are shown near the bottom in the green there, and so there's not much of a sense of needing to move people, and nothing distinctive. So it's all very complicated, but basically it's saying that the streets should it's horses for courses. Treat streets differently depending on what they're for. So in summing up, restricting speed is one of the most cost-effective ways of improving safety. Having speeds that are appropriate to the kind of uses of that street or road and the users in it. Reduces the incidence of crashes. I think the council should have good data on that because of the CBD having produced big decreases in the number of crashes, even when other areas in the CBD that haven't got speed restrictions have had increased crashes. We've heard several people say something about the survivability of crashes at different speeds, so I won't repeat that. And the other thing is that with lower speeds, you've got a better equity of access, that people who are not in cars have got better access to the streets. People cycling, people walking, people on mobility scooters or with impaired vision. It's all better for those with reduced things. Neighbourhoods are important in all your journeys. First mile, last mile. Where you start your journey, where you finish it. So around your home, residential areas, schools, libraries, you get improved cohesion and in neighbourhoods with lower speeds. We've heard other people say that. And part of the cycle network is that you can't have a cycleway on every street. You've got to have you've got to go back to Plan A of different users using the same space. There is an article by Simon Kingham summing all of these up with references, and I've left a reference to that at the bottom of the slide.
Excellent. That's a lovely quote to finish on. So thank you very much. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. It's a good submission.